What's up, guys? This is a daily leadership notes on language. And this is language that we're going to talk about like within a marriage or relationship, right? Okay. So, what I've learned is something critically important. It's how I lead as a husband, as a father, um, my wife, and my children. And it comes down to the critical step of language. So, can I? Can you? We should. If I do X, can we? You can. Like all those phrases that you guys are asking your wives or your kids for, like think about how you're phrasing that question. Can I? Can you? We should. Like it's permission asking, right? Okay? And it's also putting ownership on them. So phrasing the question to your wife or your potential wife, your girlfriend, such as just phrasing these questions is harmful, harmful to the relationship, to the marriage, to raising your children properly. Completely backwards. Okay, so don't ever phrase questions like that. Start to catch yourself in speech when you're having a conversation with your wife. Can we? Can I? If I do, don't do that stuff. Don't do it. Figure it out. Plan it. Then say, let's, here's what I got. Say what it is. Just say it. Okay? Because you have to understand these phrases are harmful because number one, they degrade you as a man, as a husband, as a leader. And also, check this out on the flip side, guys. Crazy stuff, right? It's going to degrade your wife or your girlfriend. How does it degrade my wife or my girlfriend? Let me tell you exactly how it does. You will degrade your wife by these questions of asking for permission and putting the leadership role that you're supposed to be taking. You're going to be putting the leadership role when you're phrasing things like this onto her and forcing her to be in charge over whatever. What restaurant should we go to? Like, you guys need to like plan the date nights, start figuring out your vacations, plan those things out. Like, take leadership steps in your relationship and do it via language. Because you get the language under control, the mindset quickly gets under control. So if you do this, you're going to, also degrade your wife by putting her in the leadership and forcing her to be in charge of whatever, making you subject to her. So we just inverse the whole relationship, guys. You're inversing the relationship when you do these things. You're saying, I need you to lead this. You're in charge over this, even though you didn't ask for it, even though you're relying on me to do these things. Do you see how you're flipping the whole thing over? And if you flip it too much, you guys know this, you become basically subject to her and you become her child. She will be resentful of you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Been there, done that, guys. I'm telling you, you gotta start flipping these things around. So if you're in a troubled marriage, I don't believe in divorce. I'm going to tell you guys right now, you can easily, I mean, not easily, it takes some time, but with the right guidance, you guys can start to kind of flip it back around, and you'll have a good relationship where it's supposed to be. Like where you're the head of the family, and she can rely on you not to lose your temper or do these things or ask stupid questions. Can I? Should I? You're not gonna be subject to her. Like she doesn't want to take on that responsibility or that ownership, guys. Like think about it. You're degrading yourself. You're degrading her role as a wife and a mother. Like you're forcing leadership aspects upon her that she doesn't want. And then you kind of become, in a weird way, you get treated like her child, her responsibility. When it should be you that's responsible for her. That's how it works. Like you're responsible for her. She's not responsible for you. Like all these guys have like, oh, my wife needs to take ownership and responsibility. No, like you are responsible for her. It doesn't work in the other way. Okay? All right. So first, you guys know you must be responsible for yourself. If you fail to lead, then you have no authority. So if you're failing to lead, and failing to lead is just starting with questions and doing stuff, then you have no authority. And when you have no authority and you're failing to lead, of course, who's going to listen to you? All right. Now let's go one step deeper. What is the principle that you're going to lead from or lead under? Okay, what is that governing kind of catechism or teaching or creed? So you have to lead, and you should be leading on something, or something should be over you, governing you. Okay? Because leadership there's a lot of leadership courses that are purely secular in nature, and it doesn't seem to make sense. Because within religion, guys, okay, there's a hierarchy, there's a leadership role, okay? And this hierarchy gets put down upon the family as well, upon the husband. And then, the kids and the wife and subject, okay? You need the religion base, or the religion, over you. So if your credo, your catechism, like it's just one of those that you made up, or it's the one of the times, or it's some guru on the internet, and I'm not that guru. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not that guru. If it's secular in nature, those things all change. They're all very, very, very pliable. They change with the times. So the way men acted, secular men acted in the 1920s was different than, the 1950s was different than guys in the 80s, and even guys coming up now. Everything, it keeps changing. Like those little values of what's important, how to govern kids, what kids should do, what kids shouldn't do, how you treat your wife, treat your family, how you rule over your family, how you protect your family, how you provide for your family. Those things, they start changing very quickly. So if it's a secular base, you're always going to be kind of just like leading your family from the times with no kind of real anchor. It's just going to be an anchor to the time. It's not going to be good. All right, this is where we get into the fun topic. Subscribe to our channel of religion, right? Because if you're making up your creed or your set of rules, then I don't know, why don't you just make it change a little bit? And everybody knows that about you. Okay, so the religion. Let's talk about religion now. Thus, religion, that credo that you need to be, has to be upstanding and one of reason and truth. Not this ridiculousness of materialism or consumerism, if I get things or I do these things, or your job or your physique. That's idolatry. Okay, guys? Then it's a giant failure. So I recommend saving you guys a couple missteps that I took by just getting to the root and starting to conform yourself to God. Conform yourself to God. Conform yourself to His church that's never changing. The one church that's never changing, that has been an institution for the past 2,000 years. You guys all know what it is. It's the Holy Catholic Church. That dogma is set in time, and it's outside of time. Those principles are not, they're timeless principles. The commandments. Now, personally, I know you guys are thinking like, oh, like Catholic Church is like, oh, it's so full of rot and stuff, man. Yeah, some stuff that's the nature of stuff. Like, that doesn't mean it's not true. Doesn't mean a bunch of morons that are rotten make it untrue just means there's a bunch of rotten morons because there hasn't been a bunch of men to correct these morons and fix them up. So we've got to rebuild brick by brick. I personally attend the traditional Latin Mass, and that has provided me a ton of structure. And I suggest you do the same thing. You could just avoid all the steps. Like I've been there, done that with and I'm not saying there wasn't a place and a time for like the Novus Ordo and all that type of stuff, but there's not the concreteness. There's not the militaristicness of those masses. And then you go to like a Latin Mass and your eyes are open. Like it is, right away, it's beautiful, it's true, it's good. This is what the faith is built on. It's the sacrifice of the Mass. Okay. So why do you need to tie leadership to religion? Because both are the same. They're the same side of they're different sides, of the same coin. So you could not govern successfully without a governing system and without authority above you. It's all the same. Like you need to govern from some sort of authority. Like you're getting your authority from somewhere else. If you get it from materialism, you get it from the world, the times, it's gonna fall to rubbish. But if you get it from, a perpetual teaching that's been around for thousands of years and, hierarchy within the church that's now, we're over 2,000 years, like that's something you want. You want that type of authority. You want to be able to find out and read the book and see it in writing and know that it hasn't changed and it can't change. All right. So you cannot govern successfully without a governing system and without an authority above you. It's all the same. Your religion, your leadership, your principles, it's all together. It's you conforming to the commandments. It's not the commandments conforming to you. That's pretty dumb. So you're conforming to the religion, not asking the religion to conform to you. If you try to do that, you're just going to end up making your own religion. It's going to get weird and twisted real quick. So that's what I suggest. You guys have a governing principle. You need that authority from somewhere. And then, to take it back to the intro is make sure you keep your language correct when you're speaking to, your wives, when you're leading your family. The whole can I, can you, should we, can I, like all this asking permission stuff is detrimental to everything. And it goes against your nature. It goes against authority. It goes against just everything. So subscribe to my channel if you like this. Sorry it was long-winded, but I'm just trying to save you guys a little bit of time because I've been through the ringer with a ton of stuff, man. Like so many things like I've learned from trial and error and books and reading and understanding. So I just want to save you guys a little bit of time. Hopefully, if God wants that, and if not, then you guys can go down the same piss poor path that I went down, but hopefully you'll get there eventually. That's it. Out.